Ever imagined a city uh, lost beneath the waves?
Mhm.
Its streets and buildings swallowed by the sea centuries ago.
Hmm.
Well, today, we're diving into the eastern harbor of Alexandria,
Oh, wow.
not to search for Atlantis, but to uncover the secrets of a real sunken city.
Right.
Think bustling harbors, colossal statues,
Yeah.
and the echoes of rulers like Cleopatra.
Amazing what lies beneath the surface.
Yeah.
We're talking about the Portus Magnus, the heart of ancient Alexandria,
Oh.
a crucial hub for both the Ptolemaic and Roman empires.
Oh.
And it was so vast, practically a mini universe in itself.
A mini universe?
Absolutely. Picture this. Specialized ports within the larger harbor.
Okay.
You have an area for royal galleys, a separate military harbor,
Right.
and then this massive merchant port called the Emporium,
Wow.
each with its own unique purpose and bustling with activity.
So we're not just talking about a few scattered ruins here?
No, no, no.
This is a sophisticated and organized center.
Precisely.
Okay.
And at the heart of it all was Antirodos,
Okay.
a royal island that served as a base for the Ptolemaic rulers,
I see.
including Cleopatra herself.
Oh.
Think sprawling estates, opulent palaces,
Right.
a true symbol of power and wealth.
It's incredible that this uh, grand harbor, this mini universe,
Yeah,
is now beneath the waves.
it is.
What caused this once thriving port to sink?
Well, it wasn't a single event, like you might imagine. It was
Uh-huh.
a series of earthquakes and tidal waves.
Oh.
Some unrecorded in history books gradually reshaped the coastline over time,
Wow.
submerging the Portus Magnus bit by bit.
A powerful natural forces really reshape the world we know.
Absolutely.
But even after centuries underwater, archaeologists are finding incredibly well-preserved structures.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's more than just pottery shard.
More than that, yeah.
Wow.
Although those are plentiful and valuable,
Right.
the monumental discoveries are what capture the imagination.
Yeah.
The foundations of a palace on Antirodos Island, for instance,
Wow.
believed to have been used by Cleopatra herself.
It's like stepping into a time capsule.
It is.
But the story doesn't end with Cleopatra, does it?
No, it doesn't.
You mentioned the Romans.
That's right.
They used this port as well.
Even after the Ptolemaic dynasty fell, Alexandria remained vital to the Romans. They adapted the existing infrastructure,
Right.
but they also made their own mark, literally
Right.
placing statues of their emperors like Caracalla
Wow.
right on top of the ruins of the Ptolemaic palace.
Almost as if they were rewriting history
Yes.
with each stone.
Powerful symbol of their dominance.
Right.
Wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, there's a long-standing mystery surrounding Cleopatra's tomb.
Right.
Some sources suggest it was near a temple of Isis.
Hmm.
Could this be connected to the temple that Frank discovered on Antirodos Island?
It's a tantalizing possibility.
Yeah.
While no tomb has been found on the island yet,
Mhm.
the search continues.
Yeah.
We're talking about a site that was constantly evolving, both above and below the waterline. What lies buried beneath the seabed today
Yeah.
could be vastly different from what stood on dry land centuries ago.
The mystery deepens.
Yeah.
Frank's team made an incredible discovery.
Oh, yes.
A colossal head,
Right.
believed to be part of a 6-meter-tall statue of Caesarion.
Caesarion.
Yeah.
The son of Julius Caesar and Cleopatra,
Wow.
the last pharaoh of Egypt.
Incredible.
This discovery is particularly significant because it challenges the traditional narrative
Right.
that Caesarion was merely a figurehead.
Yeah.
The sheer size and grandeur of the statue suggest a deliberate attempt to legitimize his rule and solidify his legacy,
Right.
perhaps even rivaling that of his famous father.
A powerful statement indeed.
Yes.
And speaking of statements, there are ancient accounts describing a massive, opulent temple
Right.
dedicated to the Caesars.
Yeah,
A temple so grand, some called it the most beautiful of antiquity.
it's true.
Frank's team believes parts of it might be submerged beneath the harbor.
And their research suggests that the project may have been initiated by Ptolemy XII,
Wow.
Cleopatra's father.
So the ambition for this grand structure
Predates Cleopatra's reign.
predates her reign.
They've even found evidence of massive granite columns and blocks
Wow.
brought all the way from Memphis for its construction.
Wait, they were transporting building materials on a grand scale,
They were.
much like we do today.
Exactly.
It's amazing to think about the logistics involved.
It gives you a sense of the scale and complexity of their operations.
Yeah.
Remember, Alexandria wasn't just a port. It was a
Yeah.
center of trade and innovation, connecting Egypt to the entire Mediterranean world.
And that connection to the wider world brings us to our next fascinating point. But first, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned so far.
Okay.
From colossal statues to grand temples, it's incredible to picture this bustling, vibrant world now hidden beneath the waves.
It is.
And this is just the beginning.
Right.
When we return, we'll delve deeper into the everyday lives of the people who call this port home
Okay.
and explore what their stories can tell us about the ancient world,
Right.
and perhaps even ourselves.
It wasn't just building materials that flowed through Alexandria.
Right.
The Portus Magnus was a melting pot of cultures, a crossroads of the ancient world.
Yeah, and thankfully, we're not limited to imagining this cultural exchange.
Right.
Frank's team has uncovered artifacts
They have.
that bring this vibrant life to light.
Exactly. Ceramics from Italy and Greece,
Okay.
delicate glassware,
Wow.
exquisite jewelry, even everyday objects.
So we've got these grand monuments,
Yeah.
colossal statues,
Right.
but then we have these everyday objects too. So we're zooming in and out of history.
That's what makes underwater archaeology so compelling.
Right.
It's not just about kings and queens, it's about connecting with the human experience.
You mentioned earlier that the site was constantly evolving.
It was.
Can you elaborate on that?
Okay.
On Antirodos Island, beneath the Ptolemaic Palace,
Right.
they found wooden posts dating back to a time before Alexander the Great even founded Alexandria.
So we're talking about a site with layers upon layers of history,
Yes.
stretching back centuries before the city we know as Alexandria even existed.
Exactly.
Now, you mentioned a term earlier, stratigraphy. Can you
Right.
explain what that is?
Of course.
Yeah.
Stratigraphy is the study of the layers of sediment that have accumulated over time. Think of it like a cake,
Okay.
with each layer representing a different period in the port's history.
Okay.
By analyzing these layers, archaeologists can piece together a chronological timeline
Right.
of a site and understand how it evolved.
So it's like reading the history of the port directly from the earth.
It is.
We've talked about palaces, temples, statues, even shipwrecks.
Yes.
What about the ships themselves?
Ah, good question.
Have they found any of those grand galleys that the Ptolemaic rulers were so famous for? Well, a perfectly preserved Ptolemaic galley hasn't been found yet,
Right.
but they have uncovered evidence of Roman ships, including one that was fully excavated.
Wow.
And with new technologies like 3D sub-bottom profiling,
Right.
they can locate potential shipwrecks buried beneath the seabed.
That's incredible. Can you paint a picture for us?
Sure.
What would it be like to dive down and come face to face with one of these ancient vessels?
Imagine descending through the clear blue water,
Okay.
the sunlight filtering down,
Right.
illuminating the seabed below.
Yeah.
And suddenly, emerging from the sand, you see the outline of a Roman ship.
Wow.
Its timbers encrusted with barnacles and sea life.
It's like stepping back in time.
It is.
Frank and his team have done a remarkable job mapping the various harbors,
Yeah.
from the Royal Galley Port to the bustling Emporium. They've created a detailed picture of how the harbor functioned.
Right.
We can visualize the comings and goings of ships,
Yes.
bringing goods and stories from distant lands.
Absolutely.
It's a testament to the power of archaeology to transport us back in time.
It is.
But this isn't just an ancient history lesson, is it?
No, it's not.
There are parallels to be drawn between the Portus Magnus and our world today.
You're right.
Frank's research on the impact of natural disasters on coastal cities,
Right.
like the earthquakes and tidal waves that reshaped Alexandria, has profound implications for how we think about climate change
Yes.
and its potential impact on our own world.
We can learn from the past to prepare for the future.
The Portus Magnus also speaks to the enduring power of human ingenuity,
It does.
our ability to adapt and rebuild, even in the face of adversity.
Absolutely.
And this story is still unfolding, isn't it?
It is.
Frank and his team are returning to the site this year,
Right.
and they've got centuries of work ahead of them.
They do.
Who knows what other secrets are waiting to be uncovered?
That's the beauty of archaeology. It's a never-ending quest for knowledge.
We've covered a lot of ground today, from grand monuments to everyday objects.
We have.
It's clear that the Portus Magnus offers a unique window into the past,
It does.
revealing not only the grandeur of ancient civilizations,
Right.
but also the everyday lives of the people who called this place home. But before we wrap up our deep dive,
Okay.
there's one more fascinating aspect we need to explore: the Portus Magnus as a microcosm of the ancient world.
Right.
We'll be back after a short break to delve into the cultural exchange, trade, and interconnectedness that made this port such a vibrant hub of activity.
Okay.
Welcome back to our exploration of Alexandria's sunken secrets.
Mm.
We've seen the grandeur of palaces,
Right.
the power of emperors, the echoes of everyday life.
Right.
But the Portus Magnus was more than just stones and artifacts.
It was
It's a vibrant hub of cultural exchange.
a meeting point for people from across the ancient world.
That's what makes this site so unique.
It does.
It wasn't just an Egyptian port.
I know.
It was a crossroads of civilizations,
Egyptians, Greeks, Roman.
all interacting, trading, exchanging ideas.
The artifacts found reflect this beautifully.
Yeah.
Ceramics from Italy, glassware from Greece, spices from the East.
It really challenges our notion of these civilizations as isolated entities.
It does.
They were actively engaging with each other,
Yes.
shaping each other's cultures and economies. We see that reflected in the objects,
Right.
but also in the very layout of the Portus Magnus.
Exactly. The harbor's design itself speaks volumes. The different specialized ports,
Right.
the way they were connected,
Yeah.
the infrastructure to accommodate ships and goods from all over.
It's mind-boggling to think about the scale of this cultural exchange.
It is.
It wasn't just goods that were traded.
Right.
Ideas, philosophies, religious practices.
It all flowed through the Portus Magnus.
It was a melting pot in the truest sense of the word.
Absolutely. And this melting pot is reflected not only in the physical objects, but also in the stories
Right.
and accounts of the time.
Alexandria was known as a center of learning and innovation, with its famous library attracting scholars from all over the world. The Portus Magnus played a vital role in facilitating this intellectual and cultural ferment.
It did.
It makes you wonder what other stories remain hidden beneath the waves.
It does.
Frank estimates they've only explored about 5% of this submerged area.
Think about that. 95% remains unexplored.
Wow.
There are potentially countless stories, artifacts, and perhaps even entire structures waiting to be discovered.
It's a powerful reminder that we've only just scratched the surface of Alexandria's sunken secrets.
We have.
But even in this glimpse, we see echoes of our own world.
Right.
The Portus Magnus shows us the enduring power of human connection,
It does.
the way cultures interact and shape each other, the drive to explore and connect with the wider world.
And it reminds us that even the grandest civilizations are not immune to the forces of nature.
Right.
The story of the Portus Magnus is a tale of both human ambition and the humbling power of the natural world.
A story that continues to unfold with each new discovery.
Yes, it does.
This has been an incredible journey through time.
It has.
From colossal statues to everyday objects,
Right.
from powerful emperors to the echoes of bustling trade, the Portus Magnus offers us a unique window into the past.
It does.
But more importantly, it reminds us of the enduring power of human connection
It does.
and the interconnectedness of our world.
Indeed.
The past is not just a collection of dates and facts.
No.
It's a living, breathing tapestry woven with stories of human experience, innovation, and resilience.
And the more we uncover, the more we realize how interconnected our world has always been.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into Alexandria's sunken secrets.
You're welcome.
We hope it sparked your curiosity and inspired you to explore the wonders of the past.
I hope so.
Who knows what other mysteries lie hidden beneath the waves, waiting to be discovered?
Many, I'm sure.
Perhaps it's time to dust off that old history book or plan that long-awaited trip to a museum.
Good idea.
Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep that sense of wonder alive.
Absolutely.